Hey guys, Assalamu alaikum. Happy Monday, Farida here at Fashion by Faith Iman. I'm so excited to see you guys and just be in the presence of everyone. I'm hoping that everyone is doing really good and having a blessed Monday. I hope you had a safe and abundant weekend. And if you're working this weekend, you had some breakthroughs and have some amazing moments of manifesting and dreams coming true. Okay, with all that said, this week we're going to be focusing on a few things within the coaching sector, things that I've noticed are coming out a lot when I am dealing with my own personal coaching and branding and business and structuring my life, as well as things that are offered in our coaching form. So if you don't already know, let me introduce myself. I am the creator and the CEO of Fashion by Faith Iman. We are a legacy and lifestyle premier brand for women in business. We are virtual and physical, mostly virtual. We've been around for about 6 years now, alhamdulillah. We do life coaching. I'm a certified life coach for goal success training. I have completely directed my own framework around that, which is something we're going to going through today is timing and framework. And we do a whole different image consultant package where we virtually have an app to consult you. We have full classes, lessons on there from everything from hijab to personal styling to confidence and business and personal branding and training. And on top of that, we have our beautiful Cuisine Kids culture where we teach everything from budgeting to different recipe and international cooking type to elevate your overall aesthetic and your food and what you're putting in your body as well. And if you don't know, we have our sister brand, which we launched last year in Houston, Texas, which we're so excited. It's our Photography by Farida, where we do a lot of branding and lifestyle photography. Yes, baby. So doing the most, being the most is our mission here. Doing it in an elegant and concise way, maximizing our strength, energy, and potential. I'm all for it. That's all I do here. Right now, if you hear little voices in the back, I am co-schooling, co-parenting with my sister's kids, and so we are in the midst of parenting and being mothers and women, and we are always applauding and out here to reach mothers in business because let's face it, we have a abundance of things to do in our day, and we need help. We need programs and platforms geared towards women and women in business and women issues and things that we tackle specifically as women of color and women of faith. Okay, so with all of that said, today we're working on a quick little 3-part series. All of our Monday motivations are 3 parts, and you can find them on our website as well as our YouTube channel afterwards when I upload them. Today we're talking about what have I done in the time frame to mess up or move and shift my life the wrong direction, right? So there's some things that when we're coaching, I go into in depth that we want to undo. So let's use the example of financial issues. So let's say financial issues, because many of us can attest to having those financial issues, financial instability, or just having, not like enough financial support, even if you are working. Okay. So for example, what have I done in the last 2 years to my finances? Have I opened up more credit cards? Have I, put a down payment on a house? Have I moved 4 or 5 times? That would be me. I like to move a lot. So when I'm assessing a client, a customer, my sisters out here and customizing their coaching, a lot of the things, the framework we're basing on is what have I done to myself to get myself into this particular mess or issue that I want to get out of. A lot of the time we start to do the work and we don't assess how much work needs to be done. So that's what we're looking at. Realistically, if you have been disengaging with your financial responsibility, you've just been going to school, paying bills, you've just been cramming it in with things you have been purchasing or needing to do just to live an adult life out here, trying to be responsible, but falling short, and your time frame of falling short is 2 years. You can probably reboot in a year or 2. But if you have had these issues and these inconsistencies within your finances, for example, you might need to hire a coach. So after you hire me, we're working on that. Our next step would get you to be in the time frame that we discussed, is to get you to take the action step to hiring a financial advisor, talking to your banks, doing framework that actually breaks down how much credit card debt you have. Some of us are scared of checking with our credit systems and things that we had, that are negative. Okay, so we would do that type of framework with me as your coach, and develop certain plans and steps you can take to execute in a realistic time frame in comparison to the hole you dug yourself into. A big part of where we see falling off or negativity, self-doubt, negativity, inconsistency in coaching realms is that some of our clients that mean so well, we get you guys motivated, we get you to the next level, and then you realize that, hey, I have set myself back personally for 5 or 4 years, and I don't necessarily want to be coaching for 5 or 4 years. I want to speed up this process and push myself and elevate myself forward so fast. We're talking today again about time frame and doing the work. Right? Time frame and doing the work. We need to be structured on realistic time frames. If you are someone who is single and trying to regroup your finances, and you're working a decent job and you're just paying some bills and just got to pay off a couple of credit cards, you can make a plan for 2 to 3 years, right? But if you're someone who's in the midst of having a couple of kids or has an elderly parent and has a lot of things that are shifting your life and your financial dynamic, you need to maybe take a step back and assess a strategic time frame, a strategic planning, be more very detailed in how you're spending and what's coming in and out of your pocket. That is what, again, we will deal with you as coaches. We would have to help you to develop the time frame realistically to what you are dealing with and what you need. In doing so, again, we want to focus on the undoing process. Undoing the habits that have formed in your brain and your hands and in the way you eat and the way that you see the world. Let's undo a few of those things, because most of us are instant gratification people. So we automatically might have a little bit of a shift in our life, and then we say, okay, I got a little money here, let's spend it on that, and get excited. We might even get a little upset, be emotional. Most people are statistically emotional spenders. So let's try to undo that. Let's try to look and see. As sometimes I will have women I'm coaching who are moms who have not invested in themselves in 10 years. And sadly, they might be transitioning into a divorce, or the husband has shifted his working process. He's not feeling well, and then he shifts out of working, being the primary breadwinner, which is fine, and she has to take on some more financial responsibilities. So in doing that, some of those spending habits that she might have, needing certain things for the kids right away and having that extra income to just get up and go and grab it, have to change. You have to undo. Let's focus on undoing first of all. Let's focus on undoing first of all, not always just getting up, making a goals checklist and just doing stuff just to do it. It's great if you have positive goals, but realistically, what's going to get you to the next level is how much negativity, how many things do I have in my personality traits and my own habits that I need to undo. So that's where I come from as a coach. A lot of coaches will feed you positive rhetoric, and I'm all for positivity, but I'm realistic. I go down hard in the core of a lot of my clients. I do not play with them. We're not here to play. We're here to achieve the maximum potential and love each other, support each other. And in order to do that, we have to be realistic on all fronts as to how we got ourselves into these messes, because a lot of us will create the same habit. It doesn't matter if you get more time, as we saw last year when people had more time. It doesn't matter if you get more money. If you're not focused on how to undo what are my bad habits and how can I make an assessment to get to a concise time frame, learn certain procedures to get yourself in a time frame and organize to undo the mess that you put yourself in. So the first thing we're going to do is those two, focusing on, again, undoing and time frame. The next thing I want you guys to focus on is one-on-one accountability, okay? I'm just like jotting some notes down over here if my eyes shift, and I have a little like I said, I'm co-schooling right now with my sister's kids because my sister is a night shifter. So we have a room full of people who one of them thinks they're Spider-Man. So if I look off, it's because my nephew is jumping up. So here we go. Accountability. You need to go one-on-one with yourself. As a coach, I can coach anyone. I can coach you virtually. We have a whole platform. But if you're not able to hold yourself accountable, it really is detrimental to your overall confidence and your stability, your mental health, the way you see yourself. Sit down, please, my love. Sit. Thank you. It's overall really disturbing in the future to how you feel about your goals when you do achieve them. One-on-one accountability. Okay, it's the ability to take everything your coach is teaching you. I taught you a lot. We've worked through a lot. You've had your breakthroughs, however it goes, and now you're here with yourself sometimes at night. Sometimes you're here with yourself on a vacation, and you know that you're not supposed to be spending that much, right? So you wanna have that accountability with yourself by setting up a few extra goals. So again, we're looking at undoing and time frame. Make sure you are in the process of undoing. Make sure you're in the process of undoing. Your books, please. Get that. Thank you. Make sure you're in the process of undoing. I said that a couple of times because I want you to realize that we can not only set goals and be like, let's check these checklists off and stay positive all day long. You have to assess what it is that's getting you into these factors, that is creating all these things in your life that is detrimental to you and your own stability. The next thing you're going to do is we're going to, as your coach, develop your time frame. We're using the example of financial issues. So say, for example, you have 2 credit cards that are just like out there and you need to assess them. After assessing the emotional things that got you there, after assessing the actual things that happen in your life, maybe you're in college or you had to get a new car, these things that happen. Then we assess the time frame. Give yourself a realistic time frame so that you're not always letting yourself down when it comes to that one-on-one accountability. Okay, guys, so that's the first part of our focus today. We're going to be focusing on, again, undoing, time frame, and one-on-one accountability. And the next video, I'm going to break down a little bit more what one-on-one accountability looks like and how you can kind of help yourself when you're feeling low. Assalamu alaikum, welcome in. So how you can help yourself when you're feeling low is going to be in the next video. One-on-one accountability. There's so many levels to coaching that come about, but the first thing I would teach anyone is that I don't take people who are not coachable, and most coaches will tell you that. I cannot take a client or anyone who's not coachable. That means you're not open to perceive that you are your own master in this thing called life, and you're responsible for yourself. There are a lot of people who are working, who are successful, who are actually not coachable. They don't really expand, they don't really grow, you can't really teach them anything, and also they don't want to go within themselves deeper. They really want to stay on the surface, and coaching is a very human-to-human contact. Very scientific but very emotional. So there's a lot of times where our first few sessions we're just crying, honestly. We're just upset at ourselves. I'm in the frame of being that person's support when they're like, hey, it's time for me to stop and assess my life, and I'm not happy where I am, and I need to assess how much I put on my plate and how much I just take off. We're focusing again. Our word of the day is undoing. We're working on undoing the habits and the products and the things and the different attributes that we have in ourselves that have brought us to this resolve, or unresolved. Then we're working on a realistic time frame. You cannot coach, you cannot be successful without a realistic time frame. I have so many people be like, I want to change my life, do a diet, in 2 years. I mean, they don't understand the magnitude of a 5-year plan or even an intense 3-month plan with one goal, instead of taking 5 goals and trying to switch them all up into the last 3 months of this year, And I have that issue with us because a lot of us want to catch up on stuff. We want to be overachievers. We want to do so much. But the ability to fit it in the proper time frame will equal to a magnitude of success that you will not comprehend, so that you're not dealing with things like exhaustion. Again, we coach only women because women have certain lifestyles that we have to do the most, and we don't get always applause or help or the things that we need. So we have to deal with things like exhaustion, mental health issues, burnout, physical, hormonal issues, doing things while we're pregnant. I ran my businesses while I was pregnant. I've never stopped running my businesses. Getting divorced, never stopped, So there's certain things that need to be really accredited for in your time frame, and traumas even in your time frame that may help you honestly to just be more kind to yourself and to process better and to delegate better which type of things that are in your life that are actually bringing you the result that you want, compared to things that are just heavy and taking up space. I'm really good at taking out of those things and helping the client take out things and attributes that are just not for them. Okay, so the next thing and lastly on this video is, again, one-on-one. When you're alone, how are you holding yourself accountable? What are you doing? Every time you check in with your goals and your procedure, what is it that keeps you grounded and accountable? Again, we work by faith-based relationships, so it's always for us God and family law and da-da-da-da. But be very clear on your mantra or whatever prayer or whatever few words you have that ground you, that say, this is what I want I'm accountable for me, and this is how I'm being accountable. Creating the essence and the actual mindset, and then creating a physical attribute. That's it. Your action step is how you're taking your accountability, blah, 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 blah. So you fill in that blank, right? Okay. So guys, we'll see you on the next video. As I said, I am in the middle of homeschooling, unschooling, like 4 little ones. So if you see somebody throw a shoe at me in a minute, we good over here. Assalamu alaikum.